So I know you all gave me some guidelines on how to break up the Spade invasion. I really appreciate that a lot. Shout out to all of you who did that. But, and hear me out, but I had a better idea. How about I don't do that and instead break it up into thirds, so that when we catch up to the Spade arc, the next series video will come out that next Sunday. Does that sound like a bad idea? I don't know, but I'm already recording this with that in mind and my notes are already broken up into thirds, so we'll just go with it for now. But yeah, wasted the whole intro talking about nothing, so let's get straight to it. We get very grim off rip in the arc, and it almost seems like the art style has changed. I can't confirm that, but it feels like it. Asta wakes up and rushes to go save Yami, but he's stopped by this rando who's revealed to be our vice captain. It never even occurred to me that we didn't have a vice captain. Well, not have, but never met one. Anyway, point being, his name's Notch and he has a great design. It even gave me Speedo Sound Sonic vibes, but I was a little more surprised that he hates Yami for some reason. I'm sure it's going to be told to us later why, so I'll just put a pin in that for now and make sure to remember that. Yuno goes to the meeting of the captains and he looks fucking pissed. I mean, who wouldn't be when some goth douchebag comes and nearly kills your whole fucking squad and humiliates you? You know, I think we'd all be a little pissed off. Notch pulls up on this meeting to tell us some lore, very good lore, mind you. Just like with the elf arc, I'm going to try to wrap up the entire devil lore when we finish, or catch up I guess in this case. We get another video game type setup with how we have to deal with the triad, infiltrate the castle, take out the 3 bosses, and stop the tree of, I'm not going to bother pronouncing it this time, so you know, this thing. Notch essentially says that Asta is going to be our goober, our MacGuffin, our ace in the hole, and our whole plan relies on Asta being strong enough to handle the trifecta of bozos, which I liked a lot. Always love our boy getting the recognition he deserves. I didn't expect Notch to make Yuno reveal his princedom, but his loyalty and reason for fighting is brought into question because of it, and Yuno talks about William's last stand, which I really like. Despite not having that much actual screen time, or panel time in this case, William's arc is great, and I really hope he lives to the end of this arc, but I get this feeling he's not going to. No evidence for that, just a hunch, but if he does die, I knew all along. We finally get some good news though. The elves saved Noelle and company. We weren't specifically told where they were going after the elf arc, at least to my knowledge, so I was surprised they came here to help. If anything, I was surprised to see them at all, since I assumed they were going to be MIA for a bit. And we see those kids you guys wouldn't leave me the fuck alone about, so yeah, here they are. Here's the stupid kids. Nero has a flashback about sealing Techio's wound, which came a little out of nowhere, but it's not too important, so it's whatever. It just feels like something that should have been told to us sooner, like during the elf arc. Speaking of the elf arc though, we get some new elf lore added to our compendium, and it's about Dryad, who's a tree spirit of sorts. So that was cool, and the elves agreed to train Noelle and company, which I thought was sick as fuck. I can't wait to see what our squad does with not only heart magic, but elven magic. Like, we're gonna be fucking broken if given some more extra time to train after we hopefully survive this arc. Notch teaching Asta how to control his devil was really cool, and his hate for the Black Bulls is genuinely interesting. Like, I'm sure he'll come around later, because everyone does. It's hard to hate the Black Bulls, but I really want to know the source of this hate. Like, I'm just hoping we get a backstory for him or something. A fight I never expected to get was Asta versus his devil. His name is Lieb, by the way. If I pronounced that wrong, well, that's just something expected of me at this point. And again, the lore of this devil shit is fucking cool, especially the entire room that's solely existing to bind devils. I particularly like this painting of a devil binding a lot, and I kind of want a real version of it hanging in my room. Or maybe not, because that's creepy, but you know, I want it. All that being said though, Asta's devil design was super lame. It's not as big a disappointment if anything Charmy related, but it could have been a lot better. Like, I was more so expecting something like the Elf Arc devil, but you know, whatever, I guess. They all can't be bangers. We got his backstory and it was pretty fucking wild. He was so weak, he just jumped into the human world by accident. Like, that's gotta be humiliating and really strike you down in the soul when you realize that. Especially when you're being chased away by humans. Just regular ass humans. Lieb meets this lady who I keep flip-flopping on between thinking it's Asta's mom and not thinking it's Asta's mom. I also forgot her name, unfortunately. At this point of reading, I was leaning more towards her being Asta's mom because we also did see her when Asta went berserk, so that was the only point of evidence I had, but it also could just be Lieb's flashback. She seems to be in a similar situation as Henry was, and she also has the 5-leaf grimoire that she found. Her death was super depressing, especially when she used her last breath to seal Lieb in the grimoire, and it was at this point that it really hit me that Lucifero is really a bitch, like he's living that bitch life right now. But it was really cool to know that his plan had been in motion for a fucking while, like he had been planning this whole thing for ages, so it really makes me feel like we're about to catch some fat ass L's if stopping the tree does not go our way. We cut back to the fight and Asta starts getting the upper hand with a sequence that I fucking love, where he uses all the styles and techniques of all the swordsmen he's fought or met. Like, I really like how his hard work is being portrayed here, and it's basically being spoon-fed to us, to anyone who's not giving Asta the credit he rightfully deserves. That Asta isn't strong because he has anti-magic. Asta is strong because he works hard. The anti-magic just kind of supplements that hard work he puts in. He wins the fight and chooses to have an equal deal with Lieb, not the absolute control that Notch has with his 4 devils. 4, by the way. 4 fucking fucking devils. Like, it didn't hit me that he had 4 devils until I was finished reading the beginning part of this arc, where I was like, holy shit, that fucker has 4 fucking devils. But on the bright side, it turns out that this lady is Asta's mom, and I fucking knew it. I mean, you don't know that, but I know it as I was reading it. I knew that, obviously. However, that does kind of make the story confusing on how she had Asta, but you know, I was right, and that's all that matters right now to me, and I'm sure we'll find out more later anyway. That isn't it with the training though, because Notch puts on his Bloodborne cosplay to beat the shit out of Asta until he learns Devil Union. But I do have the most unfortunate news for all of us. Langris is back to help Yuno train. Notch has his dark prison spell shit, which is fucking terrifying. I would hate to be in there. But it's also another example of Tabata's amazing usage of black ink. Like, he's really just popping off with the color black in these panels. It's insane. I felt like Notch was lying when he said the 2 days were up, like to try and trick Asta into trying harder, you know, shonen shit. But the 2 days really were up. It was surprising. That shit went by fast. I did think it was really cool that Notch watched Asta since the day he joined. And I say it like that because it's so hard to pronounce notched whenever you're saying anything else that has a t sound in it. That's a tangent though, but anyway. Asta does start making some good progress, but Notch left him there to keep training so he won't pull up until he's ready. And I kind of like that because it adds this time limit to the arc, which I always love. You know, I love me my time limits. We got some more unfortunate news though. Dante is being healed and they're making more evil shit in this lab. So we really have an uphill battle coming up for us. See, now these outfits look cool as fuck. The Royal Knights ones were mega lame, but these were fucking... Wait. Why is Seek here? What the fuck? I guess that doesn't really matter because our fucking girl is here, and Raiden Valtos and this Maxa guy who I don't know. But most importantly, our girl is here, and I am so happy we get another arc with Sally. The diversion using the resistance was a sick ploy, but our first hurdle fucks us in the ass in the form of this ancient demon. But thankfully Leona pulls up to kick its ass before it can do much harm. But I don't really even know if you can call this a fight because she beats the living shit out of it. Like, she's basically broken right now with how powerful she's gotten since the Elf arc. And I don't know if that fight's been animated yet because I don't keep up with the anime. So if anybody could let me know what episode that happens at, I would be very grateful because I really want to watch it. We have our 3 main fights set up though, which is sick, and the first one we get to see is Yuno and Langris versus Xenon. And off rip, we're jumping into hype because we get a new fucking uniform, which I hope does some good damage because Xenon is super busted. It's not really a big thing, but I thought it was super cool that Yuno was described as being beloved by Mana, you know, this chosen one-ass motherfucker. We cut to Vanica and it's revealed that she stole generals from the Diamond Kingdom, which is fucking hilarious because I feel like that means she was easier to beat before she had the army of bozos with her. And knowing that these are diamond people makes me a little worried about our buddies that we have over there, but they're not here, which is good at least. That means they're alive, hopefully. Deadass though, Charlotte jumped way up into my character ranking, and I love that she's learned to utilize any curses and use them to her advantage. And Queen of Briars is such a sick fucking spell. Like, I never thought I'd be this excited to see roses and vines, but you know, here we are. Megakula being the... It feels like I'm not supposed to pronounce it like that, but someone said that's how you pronounce it, so I'm trusting you. It just does not sound as good as Megasula though. I'm just gonna say Megasula for now because it does not sound right coming out of my mouth at least. Anyway though, Megasula being the father of curses is a pretty cool thing to add to her character. I don't know why I thought he was a girl, but I was under the impression he was a girl this whole time. Notch shows off his defense form and it's literally so fucking cool. Like, I love that he can go toe to toe with Dante. Even if he can't actually do any good damage, he can still go blow for blow with him, which is more than any of us have been able to do so far. Jack got a backstory told to us, which was pretty solid. I like the small insight to his character that we got, but compared to everyone else, it's not really my favorite, but it's not bad by any means, just solid. I really wish that I remembered who this was if we've met him before, but it's insane that he actually managed to accelerate the tree opening, and now we have 2 high-ranking devils to fight alongside Dante. On a side note, I love how cheeky Tabata is when naming his devils. These 2 are named Lilith and Nama, which I thought was pretty funny. I like that a lot. This panel of the devils rushing out of the castle looks like it could have jumped right out of a Berserk volume, to be honest, but this shit kind of fucking blows right now. Like, we're getting our shit fucking rocked, and as if things could not get any fucking worse, the Triad's devil power jumps to 100%. Thankfully though, Vanica is still a baddie in this form. Tabata draws some sus panels of her and I don't know, man. Black Clover women just kind of hit different. Hey guys, are these random kids important too? Do I need to make sure I remember them? Just mentioning them because you never know what kids will be vital to the story anymore. But in all seriousness, as if we couldn't be any more fucked, another big fucking monster is here, this time on its way to fuck up the Clover Kingdom. We do get a backstory told to us about these 2 ancient demons, which was pretty cool. Always glad to get random lore tidbits. The demon attacks the Clover and we can pretty much do fuck all until Asta pulls the fuck up and erases this big... Sorry to cut us off there, but you know, I thought I'd leave some surprise for next time. Needless to say, it's been an incredible start to the Spade invasion. I'm loving everything we're getting so far, even if the main event hasn't actually happened yet. I'm just unbelievably hyped for next week. I can't wait to start recording my next video. As per usual, if you have any questions or I missed something, then let me know in the comments, but that's been it. Later.